Hey buds, today we smoke two strains straight off the charcuterie board.
We cover news stories ranging from some bad spice, and we're not talking garlic powder, to a guy who picked the worst possible smoking spot.
And a conversation where we find some fun new holiday traditions.
All of this and more today on the Good Buds podcast.
Let's break out the jingle bongs.
Welcome to the Good Buds podcast, the show where good buds smoke good buds and talk about them. I'm Curtis,
I'm Shank.
and this is episode 65, airing December 20th, 2021 on Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and many more. Thanks for joining us, and happy holidays, buds.
Yeah, so before we start, we'd like to thank Lumenspot and My High Shop for sponsoring this episode and all of the ones before it. You can check out their links down below in the description, but we'll talk more about them later. Anyway, Curtis, how you doing, man?
I am doing pretty fucking fantastic, for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, all my Christmas shopping is done, wrapped up, ready to go, so all I have to do is sit and wait. Since I got something very special coming up this week, that's gonna be good, you know? Had to get everything done early.
Yeah.
Shank knows why, and you buds will know why next week. Just
Yes,
stick
you will.
around, tune in.
Yep.
But even more better than that is the fact that not only do, people around me give me something for Christmas, my city finally gave me something for Christmas.
Hey!
And by giving me something, I mean they gave everybody something. My city, which
They did it for
was
you.
originally, it was for me. It was specifically for me. And you'll hear why. My city was kind of against having cannabis dispensaries in our township.
Mm.
And through some provisioning and some resourcing and yada yada blah blah blah, needless to say, there's a dispensary literally 3 blocks away from my house now.
Hey!
Recreational and
Yeah.
medical. It is literally right behind my work. I can literally take a break and walk to a dispensary now
That is spectacular.
and fucking come back within like 10 minutes or so.
That's fucking fantastic, man.
They have rewards programs that are getting set up. It's fucking awesome. Anybody who wants to check it out, there's a couple locations around, but look for Pure Cannabis in southeastern Michigan. Very nice. Very cool people. And yeah, I plan on going there a lot more for a lot of my cannabis, strictly out of fucking convenience.
Well,
Plus,
hell
they
yeah.
also deliver to my house.
Oh, nice, dude. That's awesome, man. It's like a
Oh, yeah.
win-win-win-win-win.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm doing pretty fucking good today. I got some good weed and I'm ready to go. Shank, how are you feeling?
Good, man. Good. Also, doing fantastic. You've got all my Christmas shopping done. I am prepared for the holidays. They're gonna be a little bit weird this year. My sister's flying in from BC a couple days after Christmas, so we're gonna have like another Christmas. Have you ever heard of Second Christmas?
Yes.
And yeah, we're going to have another Christmas when my sister gets here, which is fantastic. We're very much looking forward to that. But as for Christmas Day itself, it's gonna be fantastic. I've got lots of plans, me and my other half, and my son's gonna be spoiled, and it's gonna be beautiful.
Fuck
It's
yeah.
gonna be a good
That's what
fucking
Christmas,
day.
that's what Christmas is all about.
Yeah,
Capitalism.
capitalism, spoil the fuck out of capitalism. But 100%, it's fantastic. It's super, super great. Obviously, I'm stoked to be doing this episode with the buds. Sharing this with them before the holidays as they're all preparing to go crazy.
And
But
as we should say one more time right now, happy holidays. Thank you
yeah,
so much for
whatever you're
joining us.
celebrating,
And
if you're
whatever
celebrating
you're
anything,
celebrating, comment down
I hope
below
it's
and
great.
we'll celebrate it back with you.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Whatever you're celebrating, if you're celebrating and you're being happy while you do it, then we don't really give a fuck, and we hope you're having a great time.
We will celebrate with you.
Yeah,
and
we
with
will.
that being said, where can we celebrate with them on?
Well, they can celebrate with us, and we can celebrate them if they go and check out our Facebook, our Instagram, and our Twitter page, which we have some really great behind-the-scenes stuff and funny content on there. We also have a whole bunch of, notifications about upcoming events and things like that you buds can catch if you go there and click that follow button. Also, you can jump on our Discord if you want to have some great conversation, because we check in there daily. We've got links down below in the description, and you can click on them whenever you feel like it. Join us. We're happy to have you.
Absolutely. We love talking with you, buds. We love knowing what's going on with you, and we want you knowing what's going on with us. If you would like to help the show just a tiny bit, just a penny for your thoughts for this Christmas, you can check out our Patreon page and you can donate there. We have several tiers you can choose from that include behind the scenes content exclusive for Patreon and the ability to listen in on the show live. Again, links are downstairs below. You can just join us for as low as $1, and you can join our other awesome patrons, such as Mr. Isaac and Mr. Benji Bills.
He's 100% correct. We absolutely appreciate our patrons so much for donating to the show, but also, buds at home, we appreciate any one of you who take the time to click that like button, comment on whatever video or whatever episode you see on the internet, and, just click the like button. It really helps us, and the subscribe button or the follow button, because those free gestures mean a lot to us as well.
Yes, sir. And be sure to share this with all of your buds so that way they know what's going on in the world of weeds as well. We're pretty good at letting them know that shit.
Yeah, 100%. We are pretty on the ball with that. So, what do you say we get on with the reviews?
Yes.
Good Buds Review, Good Bud.
All right, Curtis. So, what will you be burning for the buds at home today?
Oh well, Shank. Why you jelly?
Well, you're handsome.
Why are
you
you
got
jelly?
really nice eyes. You're
What?
tall.
No. Why you
look
jelly
great
is
in
what
the
I'm.
tank top.
It's what I'm smoking today.
Oh. So ouch.
Keep it in your pants, bro.
Just forget everything.
What I am smoking today is I'm smoking on Why You Jelly, as
That's
in
an awesome name.
the word Y, the letter U, and jelly spelt with a G.
Hey, if Prince could do it, if Prince can do it, they can do it.
Absolutely. Now, you might be wondering, that's extremely fucking weird. Well, you know what? It's stoners, so what do you expect? But on top...
We've talked about green crack, and you think that's weird?
No, I mean the specific selling. I don't... The name itself is pretty standard.
No, I think the name is great,
But,
yeah.
But anyway, specifically what I'm trying to get at is the fact
Yeah.
that why is it called jelly with the G? Well,
Yeah.
the fact is, this is a cross strain that usually crosses a gelato strain, usually gelato 33, with the Don Mega.
I like that name.
I love that name. This is not a very mainstream strain, but I have a feeling that it's eventually going to catch some popularity and start being blown up everywhere. But with that, this phenotype that I am smoking on today comes to us from the Chronic Sewer Farms.
The Chronic Sewer? I love
The
it.
Chronic Sewer, shortened to the Chronic for short. This is grown in Michigan. It is lab tested at 26.24% THC and 0.053% CBD.
Ooh.
So, very fantastic strain. It is a 50-50 hybrid, roughly. And it's interesting, because for a strain named YU Jelly, it's really nothing that special to look at. I mean, the nugs themselves are medium-sized. They're soft and kind of squishy nugs, like they give some give to it.
Yeah.
But they do break off, like, if you really bend them right when they're at the point, like the end point of the bend, they will snap off, and they do give a nice little snap, little crunch.
Yeah. The real jelly is on the inside.
Absolutely. See, the thing is, people are jelly that they don't have this strain, and you need to go get you some.
It's true.
Now, the thing is, the colors are mainly a lighter yellow-green kind of color all throughout, like, the stems and the little partial bits of the sub-buds.
Mhm.
However, the tips of the leaves and the tips of the little pieces of the nug, really, have more of a darker tone to it that kind of give the nugs a little bit of a blue hue to them, to be honest. Like, just a tiny little bit, like more of a teal, but it looks like it's there.
Yeah.
There is a twisting maze of light orange hairs just completely surrounding the nug, just entwined in it, like a bramble snatch.
Bramble Snatch.
Bramble snatch.
The Bramble Snatch. Beware
as
the Bramble
well-
Snatch.
Beware the bramble snatch. And as well as this, there's a bunch of very fine crystals that's just like going all throughout it, just like a light dusting of sugar or salt or something.
Nice.
So all that, again, it's nothing too special other than that little bluish hue to it. But as for the smell, it's also nothing to like write home about extremely. But hang on, it's still nice. It's a nice mellow scent. It's not overpowering at all in the slightest bit. Like, you have to kind of get in there in order to get a sniff of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it starts with a light skunky kind of smell and fresh cut wood.
Nice.
I'm not saying
if you're splitting wood or whatever, like the kind of like.
I was about to say it's not like splitting wood and it's not like sawing timber at a Home Depot or a lumberjack.
Yeah.
It's more like chopping down a fucking grown healthy tree type of thing. You get like this little sappy smell in there, the chopped wood, the fucking freshness of the tree, like just dying. So yeah, you get all of that. It does have
slow
a bit
death
of
of
this,
an ancient creature.
of course. It does have this slight bit of lemongrass to it as well.
And a hint of
It's
lemongrass.
of course it's not enough citrus to say that it's citrus per se, but you
Yeah.
just get that bit of like a fruity pucker at the end with some
Mm.
very floral, very grassy kind of scent melding in with it.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny little bit of pepperiness at the end, but I wouldn't say there's enough in there to really say it's peppery. I think it's just kind of mixing in with the rest of them. But all in all,
Yeah.
very nice, kind of earthy, fucking. I like it. It's hard to describe exactly, but it's nice.
Nice.
So I cannot
Sounds
wait for
good.
that. Again, that is why you jelly. I gotta know. Are you jelly, Shank?
A little bit. A little bit.
Well, I don't know if.
The
Well, I
aforementioned things.
well, I don't know if I'm jelly. So why don't
Okay.
you let the buds know
Well,
what it is that you're going to be smoking for the rest of
this week I am going to be smoking on UK cheese.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
a bit jelly.
Yeah, UK cheese. It's a fantastic classic strain, right? It is a good reason to be jelly because it is a fantastic classic strain. This strain is also known as Cognitiva. It's a phenotype actually of skunk number one that's been genetically modified so much through growing that it barely resembles its parent strain anymore.
Hmm.
So it's like they didn't cross it with anything. They just took skunk and they bred specific
The
traits into it and out of
right, the
it,
best
and
trait and shit like that.
yeah, and they kept taking plants of that one specific strain until it was perfect.
Right.
For this strain, at least.
It's like it's like the Cavendish banana.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't
Exactly.
start like that, but now it's just a
And
mutated fucker that tastes delicious.
it's amazing. Exactly, right? So you just eat it peel and all. It's crazy. But anyway, so the UK cheese is also like yours. It's a hybrid. It is pretty well a true hybrid. It does lean slightly towards indica, but not enough to call it an indica dominant hybrid.
Yeah.
At least I wouldn't.
We'll call it
Um,
60-40.
We'll call it 60-40. More like 55-45 kind of situation, you know
I,
what I mean?
anywho,
But, it's semantics. But the nugs, though, are big, orange, beautiful nugs. They are orange. Like, when I say orange, I mean, like, more orange hair on them than I've seen in a little bit. There's, like, a nice deep green underneath all of the long red, orangish hair that's on the outside of it, but it's very hard to see because it's got, like, so much orange hair it almost has a brownish tint to the outside of the nugs. On the inside, it is a little bit of a lighter green, but it's comparable to the outside. It's a very dark strain, not like not that it shows up well in pictures. It kind of comes out more of an emerald in pictures, but to the naked eye, it's got this beautiful kind of rich brownish green tone. Overall, like I gotta say, the strain is like orange as aged cheddar, and that's just appealing to me. That appeals to me in a great way because I love cheese. I'm a fanatic of cheese plates. You give me a
but
plate full of all kinds of just different varieties of cheese, and I'm a happy man.
absolutely, we love our charcuterie boards, or
We
as we like to
love,
call them, charcuterie boards.
yeah, the charcuterie board.
Charcuterie
Straight up,
board.
yeah, straight up, we love the charcuterie boards. Um, and they're adult snackables. Who wouldn't fucking love those? Like straight up. But anyway,
Shit, my girlfriend gets paid to make them, so
yeah, and she apparently, from Curtis's word, she makes them like say magnifique, like she's a master.
I'll send you some pictures later.
Oh, sweet, that's awesome. I love like charcuterie porn. But
I know
but
you like looking at cheese wheels.
oh, I love looking at cheese wheels.
Oh,
Oh yeah. But the OG buds will know that one. But for the smell of these, man, for the smell of these nugs. Mmm. 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 It's cheesy and gassy goodness. It has a little bit of a skunky lilt to it, like that little bit of a skunk kind of scent ish.
Yeah.
It's very subtle.
like it's down the block, but it's not
Like
nowhere near your
yeah,
yard yet.
like the skunk is like the skunk got ran over like on the highway through the woods past the street of your house. Like there's a street, then a row of houses, then a wood line, and then a highway. A skunk got hit on the highway.
And you can
Like
just
and
faintly
you can
get
just
it because the
faintly,
whiff.
yeah, just because the wind blew in your direction, just faintly, and that's exactly you get what I'm talking about, Curtis, and I'm sure the
I
buds at
get
home
you.
get it too, yeah. But overall, everything is this bold, strong, super cheesy scent. It's like a cheesy cheese scent, and it's amazing. It actually smells like cheddar, which is brilliant, and I can definitely see where they got the name of this phenotype, like where they were like they smelled it and they were like, that smells like cheese. It's like that's this
Smells
what
like
does it
cheese.
smell?
We're in the UK.
Yeah, so
UK
let's
cheese.
UK cheese, and that's pretty much exactly what ended up happening. And it is fantastic, man. The scent is beautiful, and I'm very excited to take a smash of this bong here.
Well, we need to get to that then.
It's true, but before we do, I do need to remind the buds at home. If they haven't checked it out yet, go hit that link to our Instagram down below and the link to our YouTube channel, because if you're not already watching this on YouTube, which you should be, Curtis makes amazing videos, you can see the pictures floating behind us when we're talking about the cannabis. It's
Right.
cool.
Plus, we got a whole bunch of other stuff on our YouTube channel, including gaming content and other content. You need to check it out.
Yeah,
Subscribe
so,
while you're there.
exactly, right? But if you feel like doing the whole, podcast audio thing and you still want to see these strains, go check out our Instagram page at Good Buds Podcast, where we share pictures of these strains for you buds to check out. Also, we share cool little behind-the-scenes tidbits and funny stuff there regularly. And if you click that follow button, you won't miss a single notification, which is very important because you'll love the content.
Exactly. You got to make sure you're following us. You got to make sure you're getting that feed on, or your content on your feed. If you want some extra content on that feed, you can check out my personal Instagram over at GoodBudsCurtis. I got some behind the scenes of me editing the video and taking some massive bong hits.
He does take the biggest bong hits ever on there. And also, if you want some weird esoteric videos of me sitting around smoking bongs and or pipes and or joints or whatever whilst listening to elevator music, go check me out at GoodBudsShank, where you can follow me for those kind of strange videos. But just whatever you do, don't miss out on the Good Buds Podcast main Instagram page, because we will be notifying you of all the future good stuff coming up. So, yeah, do it.
And with all that being said, I have a bong pack right here of YU Jelly.
And I have a bong pack right here.
It's literally been normally it's pictured on my desk, but it's literally been sitting in my lap for most of this. I've been waiting to smoke this.
Yeah, he has. I know that you buds are used to seeing the animated version sitting on the desk, but that only slightly varies from real life.
Only slightly. But with all of that, hopefully you have your bongs packed, bowls packed, joints rolled, buds rolled, vapes ready, rigs ready, edibles. You can take a bite of them now. It does not matter. Buds at home, it is time to blaze it. Tok tok shkaboke.
Poke, poke. Ooh.
Whew, whew, whew.
Holy clouds, man! Holy clouds! Wow.
Whew.
Oh, so Curtis, how's that tasting for you, man?
Soft. Really soft. Really creamy.
Said the very satiny.
Very soft. It gives a little bit of satin to the voice as it coats the tongue and the larynx a bit. It's not exactly rough, but I'm definitely feeling a little bit in the lungs. The flavor itself is very hard to describe. It's a very clean flavor, almost like crystal glacier water coming from the top of an Icelandic mountain. I gotta say, it is very eloquent and decadent. I have to agree. Shank, how's your strain treating you?
It good.
Bet.
No, it's
I'm
very
taking another hit, by the way.
Yeah, hit it up. I'm gonna talk about this for a second because it was cheesy and bold, very bold flavor. Almost kind of gassy, that cushy kind of gassy flavor definitely came out to the front a little bit more. It was a tart hit on the front, but mellowed out when I was exhaling, and it gave me this really nice immediate bump. I felt immediately after taking that toke, I was like, okay, that's good. That feels good. And it does have a slight skunky aftertaste clinging on. But overall, again, it's some very nice kind of cheddary, cheesy almost flavor to it. So it's fantastic tasting.
You're saying it's cheesy, slightly gassy, with a bit of skunk in there. So you're saying this strain is Taco Bell.
That's a big crunch supreme actually. Chalupa.
Interesting.
Interesting. Curtis is sipping from a Taco Bell Taco Bell cup right now.
I literally went fucking earlier today. I have
Well,
my
you
Baja
gotta
Blast still.
Yeah, you gotta get your munchies on, man. Get your munchies on, and Taco Bell is some good munchies.
Exactly. And you know what? Our strains might also have a chance of causing that.
That's true. So before I was gonna say these are fantastic. I want to burn more, but before we do, you know what we gotta do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
See if there's any side effects.
These are the online opinions of other stoners online giving their opinions to the online.
Opinion.
So yes, since YU Jelly is kind of a more or less not really a mainstream strain, it's more of a rare strain per se. Not much of it is really reviewed online. Generally, for what I found for both Gelato and for Don Mega, that seem to be are collectively true is that
Yeah.
they're both pretty relaxing strains. They're both, the general euphoric, body feeling with a happy head high, not too much insomnia relief, so not too much sleepiness or anything like that.
Hmm.
Uh, they're both generally just also dank as fuck, and hopefully all is good at the end of this. As always, I do got bevs nearby. I still got some Taco Bell left, so I
Yep.
got snacks. I got bevs. I am prepared. Shank,
Yep.
what are they saying about your strain?
Well, good things. They say that it obviously being a very well known strain, it's a very well reviewed strain, thankfully. So it was easy to find that it is energetic, euphoric, relaxed, and a hungry strain. It's good for stomach issues and good for stress. No noted instances of dry eyes or dry mouth, but it does cause the munchies. And like Curtis said, obviously I have my snacks nearby. I have my beverage nearby. We are
We
always
also
prepared.
have we also have our joints rolled, ready to go right here for you
Yeah,
buds,
look at that
because we are prepared. We are seasoned stoners, garlic
garlic
powder.
powder.
Absolutely. Now, before we light these joints and do what they are meant to do, we have to take a little dry hit and see if we can get some extra flavor profile from them.
Good buds, ASMR moments. Hmm. Hmm. And what are you getting there, Curtis?
Okay, so you're not gonna believe me if I say this, but fruity fucking pebbles.
I always believe you, Curtis. Fruity Pebbles? Holy shit. That's cool.
Fruity fucking
And
pebbles.
now you just used your regular zigzag orange
These are
papers,
just,
right? Yeah.
yep, am I correct? Yeah, it's just regular zigzags, normal
Yeah.
fucking orange 1 1/4,
Mm-hmm.
and it tastes like fucking fruity pebbles. It's weird.
That's strange, man. Like, that's really weird.
How about you, man?
I'm getting a bit more of the skunkiness through it. Still a whole bunch of cheesy flavor. And a little bit of a grassiness, like a tartness or a sharpness I wasn't getting before. Um, on the undercurrent of it, but it's not too crazy. It's like I said, a little bit more of the skunk would be the only notable thing.
Oh yeah.
Like if I had to be like, oh, that's different, it would be that the skunk is more pronounced and more like ready to show, front and center. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how it actually tastes. So, that's just the thing I like the most.
Fuck yeah, fuck yeah. Um, well, I think then it is time that we figure out what they taste like. It is 4:20 somewhere in the world. Buds, hopefully you have your joints rolled, your bowls packed, your blunts rolled, your bowls packed. You can have your vape ready, your rig ready. You can take another bite of your edible. It does
Yeah,
not matter.
do it.
It is time to blaze it. Tok tok skaboke.
Whoa.
Mm.
Oh. Oh.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And the
that's nice.
and the flavor and the taste is exactly the same out of the joint, which is surprising. I seem to have lost all of that fruity pebblesness, but I still remain that sen as it kind of coats myself.
The sandy, smooth, buttery voice tone
I'm kind of
that brings
enjoying
you
it, to
down
be
to
said.
the new. This is going to be an ASMR podcast from now on, buds. We are
I,
going to be talking like this the entire time.
I can try my best to increase my volume a little bit, so that way I'm not so much ASMR. But I gotta say,
This
this
is
strain is
this is
definitely
gonna
doing
become.
wonders for me.
We need to put some of that NPR smooth jazz on in the background so that the whole time playing in the background is quiet. It's like a record player playing in the other room, just with some old jazz on it while we talk about
No.
the state of the world today. Careless Whisper plays over and over in the other room. My wife comes in and just beats me over the head. That'd be hilarious. Mm. No, man, it's good though. Mine honestly still tastes. It's very similar. It's kind of got like the same kind of flavor as the bong. That nice punch right away. Definitely feels like it's hitting my sinuses a good amount. It's warming my sinuses quite a bit. So this would probably be a really good outdoor winter strain. I feel like if I was outside and I was like shivering from the cold and I was like waiting for something and I had one of these and just lit it up, at least for a moment, I'd just be like, I. Or if I'm going for a
Nice.
walk before Christmas dinner when my whole family is really annoying the shit out of me, and I'm like, man, I really want to go home, but I don't want to go home because I love my family, and this is just a temporary annoyance. I should probably go for a walk and smoke a joint. This would be a great joint for that.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, yeah, straight up, man, straight up. I like it. So
Very
nice and
nice.
tasty, and I do like it through the. I honestly, oddly enough, I think I would prefer to probably smoke this one more through the bong. Like, I'd prefer to have that like nice punch, nice hit. Um, Sit on that for a couple of minutes, and then take another hit or something, right? As opposed to this joint where I mean I'm not obligated by any stretch to smoke it. I put my joint out and relight it many times throughout the podcast, as the buds probably know. But it's one of those things where I just want to keep smoking it because it tastes like really good cheese.
Oh yeah, good shit. Good shit.
Yeah, man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yeah, no, it's good shit. It's good shit. So obviously, we're stoked to be done. We're stoked to be done all the holiday shopping. Like that's thankful. Like you said, we'll talk more about your little surprise there for the buds after on the next episode, so they got to tune in for that. Um, and yeah, man, we got a lot on the go. So with New Year's coming up and shit like that, hopefully all the buds are out there are safe and all shopped out. Especially by the time they're listening to this episode.
Well, hopefully they're not all shopped out because we need them to visit our wonderful ad spot.
Do you like fashionable and unique clothing? Do you like things that shine super bright when exposed to light? Do you like discounts? Do you like advertisements that ask, do you like, over and over, knowing there is no direct way for you to answer back? If you answered yes to all of these questions, or even just the first three, check out lumenspot.com for some lit clothing and accessories, and use the code GoodBudsPodcast at the checkout for 50% off and free shipping. Thank you, Lumenspot, for sponsoring us, and thank all of you for listening. Check it out today with the link below in the description.
Thank you
I'm
so
sure,
much, Lumenspot.
I'm sure they've already bought their Lumenspot gear from our link down below by now. Like, I mean, they had to have. If they didn't, they can click it now. It's not too late.
Of course.
Yeah.
We got some other links down there as well if you would like to check those out, and those are more related to weed news worldwide. So our first story in Weed News Worldwide is just a quick one that we would like to let you buds know of, but it's one that's near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah.
The first European Union nation has legalized cannabis officially.
Woo! Yeah!
Woo! The first official member of the European Union, which is Malta. Malta,
Yeah.
the first European Union nation to legalize cannabis for recreational use.
Yeah, we're not Maltesing you, buds. This actually happened.
They are no longer Maltesing us.
That's right. That's right. Oh, man, that's so great.
Exactly. So, for adult consumption and growing and cultivation and medical purposes, cannabis is pretty much legal. Now, of course, being Europe, they have taken a much more European approach to it than North America has.
Mm-hmm.
Adults will be allowed to carry up to 7 grams of cannabis and grow no more than 4 plants at their home.
Yeah.
Which, it's still good. I mean, it's still a
Reasonable.
step in the right direction, and it's reasonable just walking around with 7 grams. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean,
but-
in Canada, it's I think 28 grams is what you're allowed to like walk around with, just like carrying.
So
like,
1
you can
ounce.
have 1 ounce, and like you
In-
can have an ounce on you, and you can carry that around, and you can grow. I think they say up to 4 plants, but
Okay.
honestly, they're not gonna go looking in people's houses for weed plants if you're not doing anything else that's illegal. So just
And you're probably not going to be counting saplings and stuff like that and clones. so
no,
they're not
I don't
mature
count.
plants, really.
I don't. Yeah, those don't count as plants. They're wall hanging decorations.
Yeah. They're just like little chia pets, if anything, at this point.
Yeah, those are
but
actually
anyway,
domestic pets.
Yeah, in America, or at least here in Michigan, 2 ounces is what you're allowed to carry on you, or 1 ounce and concentrates. I'm not sure what the concentrates and edibles amounts is,
Yeah.
but essentially you're allowed to carry 2 ounces on you, and you're allowed to have all the rest of your weed at home. But again, as long as it's locked up and shit like that, you can have as much as you want. You can grow up to 6 plants per person per household.
Yeah, which is amazing. And so Malta, like it's so great. We're so happy that, and hopefully other European, multiple other European countries jump behind them. And
Okay, we get it. Shut the fuck up. But him saying that does make me say that several other nations do have similar plans in place. They just haven't fully gone through their parliaments or their respective legislation yet, such as Germany, Luxembourg, and Switzerland. Germany, we have talked about before. They're
True.
very close as soon as their new government gets
Yeah, the new
fully
government
settled
coming
in and
into
stuff.
power is like, yeah, we're gonna do it.
Exactly. So we're just waiting on that. Luxembourg is going to be, they're very close and very similar to Germany, even though they are their own separate country.
Yep, very
But
unique.
exactly, they still will probably follow in similar suits.
Yeah.
And Switzerland will probably just do what's best for the people because they're Switzerland.
Yep, straight up. And yeah, exactly. Switzerland will just be like, what's best for our people?
Exactly.
Hans, what is best for our people to do? And it's like, well, oh yeah, easy. All you got to do is just legalize weed. Okay.
Okay.
Weed is legal.
So Malta's
extra
parliament.
profitable.
The Malta's parliament voted in favor for the reform on Tuesday afternoon, with the bill
Nice.
winning 36 votes in favor for 27 against.
Ooh, they salty.
Exactly. Equality Minister Owen Bonici said that the historic move would stop small-time cannabis users from facing the criminal justice system, and they would curb drug trafficking by making sure that users now have a safe and regularized way from where they can obtain cannabis. Another point
What
to
we
mention
always
that I
say
forgot.
too.
Exactly. Be responsible and, responsibly use your cannabis.
Yeah.
But one thing I forgot to mention was smoking in public or in front of children is completely illegal still.
That makes
You can't
sense.
go out on a park bench. You can't walk down the street smoking a joint. And I don't know what they mean in front of child. Like if they mean in a car.
I'm sure you could go out and smoke on a park bench if it's like nobody's around and you're like,
No.
I'm sure you could be like, but, like,
Jake, no.
just
So
don't do it. But there's not really any point to it. I mean, I never
Now
go out and smoke around town. People
Okay.
just ask for my weed.
so I don't know exactly what they mean of in front of children too. I mean that makes it obvious, not in the same
Yeah.
room, not in a car with them and shit. But
Yeah.
I don't know if that means like you can't smoke within the physical eyesight of a child.
Them, yeah. Yeah, it's
Or
almost like they
if
have
they
this
just
stupid
can't be in
law.
the
I don't
house.
know. I don't know if they have this where you are, Curtis, but where I am, they have this stupid thing where if you're driving through a school zone, the school zone used to say, school zone, like you'd be going, say, 80 kilometers an hour, and they'd say, no, slow down to 50 because you're entering a school zone. You know, kids might run across the road or whatever. Right now they say 50 if children are present. Now, the fuck does that mean? Is my ultimate question. Because, does that mean like after school hours, during school hours? Does that mean like if I'm walking and I see a kid, or does it mean if I'm walking and there's a kid behind a bush I don't see? Like, what is it like? What
What
is
if the
like,
neighborhood kids are
like
playing
that's what I'm
around?
saying. What
Does
if
that
some
mean I have to
kid
stop?
lives? Yeah, what if some kid lives right across from the school and he's like out in his yard chilling? Do I have to slow down? Like, so it's like
In case
open
the
to
kid decides.
interpretation.
I
Yeah.
mean, in case the kid does run across the street, I would just say if there's any child
Yeah.
present, just slow down to 50.
Well, at least drive cautiously. You know,
Drive
pay
like your
attention.
kids live here.
Yeah, drive like it's your kid who could run across the road, obviously, because kids
But-
are stupid. But
Okay,
at the
we
same time, it's
digress
like,
a lot.
yeah, we
Okay,
digress a lot,
we're
but it's like
digressing.
that, yeah.
Malta, congratulations. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Prost.
Link, Prost Malta. And with all of that, link will be downstairs in the description below. Shank, what is your story?
Well, for my first story for today, it's about essentially the story's about Captain Obvious. That's the only way I can put it. This one comes from thegrowthop.com.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic story about stupidity, more stupidity compounded with stupidity and weed.
Okay.
So,
What do we got?
you remember the Capitol riots? Everybody remembers the Capitol
course.
riots. Whole bunch of chuckle fucks being chuckle fucks. Bad news bears. So anyway, one of the rioters who allegedly smoked cannabis inside of the Capitol
Right.
said, and I quote, "I know we took it too far." Now, essentially, before he went to the Capitol, he had written on his social media, "I'm going to be there to show support for our president and to do my part to stop the steal and stand behind Trump when he decides to cross the Rubicon." Can you, listen to that? That sounds like some fucking, John Rambo-ass fucking patriotic
Cult-
bullshit.
Like some cult shit.
Some cult shit. It's like, I'm going to be there so that when the election is fairly lost by the person that I want to win, I can riot and throw shit at people. Dumb. But anyway, he's from Tennessee. Sorry, Tennessee. You guys rock. This guy does not. But he smoked cannabis inside the Capitol, and he says he knows that rioters took it too far. Security footage shows this dude, who is also accused of carrying a knife during the riots, which, I mean, he's carrying a knife. That's people carry knives, whatever. It's a tool. Like,
Right.
it's not, whatever. I'm not going to comment on that. But he was smoking a joint while inside the Capitol building. Now, cannabis smoking weed obviously is the very least of the least concerning aspect of what happened that day. The fact that the dude was like inside of the Capitol building, like a civilian was just kind of traipsing around a government like building, like they own the place. That's probably the worst part of it, you know. But like the fact that the dude was just like, okay, his name is Ronald Sandlin, and he faces numerous charges, including assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers, civil disorder, and physical violence in the Capitol grounds or buildings. I noticed that they're not charging him for the cannabis yet there. Um, but but he went. Okay, get this. He went on like GoFundMe to get people to send him money and donate money to him so he could fly out to Washington to take part in the riots. That's how he got out there. He went on GoFundMe and
Got
said
crowded.
he went on
Got
Go.
crowdfunded.
He got crowdfunded. He straight up went on and crowdfunded his
People are
ass
gonna-
to a riot.
People are gonna crowdfund this guy to get to a riot, but people can't even get on our Patreon and donate $1.
Straight up, like, you know,
Links
like
down below.
I mean, I don't endorse you in any way, shape, or form, but I'll take your goddamn white supremacist money if you donate it. I'm gonna spend it on a good cause. I don't endorse your message though. Suck a dick. but but anyway, this is ridiculous because the dude, like, I already said the quote from before about him being like there when Trump crosses the Rubicon, saying he's like some George Washington-esque figurine, right? But the dude says, I know that we took it too far and I knew that there would be consequences. Which is the most obviously stupid statement of all time. You go to one of the most surveillance-happy areas in all of the United States, and one of the most secure areas in all of the United States, and expect to just kind of walk around, like, smoking a joint and, like, marching in through the building and just walk and go home.
Right.
You know, so many protesters are to this day, so many of those rioting people, or chuckle fucks as I so eloquently called them earlier, are getting arrested now. Like, they're still getting found out because they're using like facial recognition from pictures and stuff like that. So every week I'm reading a story about some other new idiot who got arrested, who went home and went back to their business and was like selling real estate in some state, and then like, you know, the FBI shows up and knocks on their door and just arrests them. They're like, yeah, we know you were there. Like, they've done like Saturday Night Live skits about it. It's the greatest thing in the world. But yeah, so essentially, what they're saying is that, like, there, where he was smoking the joint has some meaning too, right? Because he was smoking a joint inside the office of Oregon Democratic U.S. Senator Jeff Merkley, and Merkley is an advocate for cannabis. Like, Merkley is a long time.
He introduced the
advocate.
Safe Banking Act back in fucking 2019.
Exactly. Dude is like a long time like advocate for cannabis. And so he went to that guy's, like, and granted, if you had the opportunity to smoke a joint in that guy's office, I would want to smoke a joint with him when it's legal. But if I was there rioting and I'm like, I know I'm getting arrested, this is stupid, I have immediate regret, but I've got a joint, and there's this guy's office who I think is cool.
Might as well smoke in the one guy's office who
will probably be cool with it.
Who will probably be cool with it. He'll just get back to his office when everything's down, calm down, and just be like, that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right? Exactly. 100%.
I thought that picture looked familiar.
Straight up, man. And so at least he picked a good office to smoke it in. But basically, it's one of those things where Merkley definitely did. He, like Curtis mentioned, he introduced some safe banking acts and stuff like that, and he's really hoping to push forward the federal banking for cannabis. There's a lot more to the story, a lot more details I kind of glossed over, but it is ridiculous. You need to read it. It is on the Growth Up. The link will be down below for you in the description. And holy moly, this is a good one.
Absolutely. And on top of that, downstairs in the description, we also have our next news story for you. And it comes to us from mlive.com. And this is a duo who were arrested for an illegal cannabis operation here in Alpine, Michigan. Or Alpena, Michigan. Sorry.
Yeah.
Alpine. Now, this really sucks. Or it's a shit show of what's going on. Two people were arrested for running an illegal cannabis operation in northern Michigan. Um, a 33-year-old man and a 34-year-old woman. The man was from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, and the woman was from Alpena. They were both arrested by the Huron Undercover Narcotics Team,
I
or
swear to
Hunt
God,
for short.
Tennessee. I swear to God, Tennessee, we are not targeting you today. This is just the stories we randomly picked.
Oh wait. So they were both charged in the 88th District Court of Alpena on Thursday and are lodged in Alpena County Jail right now.
Mhm.
Williams was charged with manufacturing cannabis and felony firearm charges, while and Williams is the 33-year-old male.
Yep.
34-year-old female. Oh, sorry, I'm confusing a whole bunch of stuff up. So the 34-year-old female was charged with manufacturing cannabis and felony firearm charges, while the 33-year-old male was charged with aiding and abetting cannabis manufacturing, as well as also firearm charges. Both bonds were set at $100,000.
Jiminy Christmas.
Hunt, like I said, the fucking narcotics team, when they hunted these guys down, but on task.
Hey!
And made the arrest following an investigation into illegal production of cannabis. Now, yeah, pretty interesting stuff there.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, man. Like, I mean, like, $100,000 bond, man. I could never. I would, man. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
You get it. That's like getting hunted by Dog the Bounty Hunter money, right there.
and yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, no.
Now I know what you guys are thinking. Okay, they're in Michigan though, so growing weed shouldn't be illegal. And also, you guys are usually on the stance of,
Well, yeah, that's
people
true.
who are getting broken for stuff and stuff like that.
It
So
was
Curtis,
just
why are
weed. Like, I mean, it was just weed. So, I mean, to be fair, like, do they like? I don't know if they really deserve to get like, nailed for it.
And Shank, that's exactly what I was getting to, because no, fuck these guys.
Oh,
you want to
okay.
know why?
I would like to know why, Curtis. Why?
Because
Why should
the
we say
reason
fuck these guys?
I'd say fuck these guys is because they were going to take the money from all this weed and they were going to donate it to a fucking hate group in Tennessee. These were racists.
Dun dun dun! Seriously, straight up, fuck the fucking assholes. They were, dude. They were probably crowdsourcing some dude to go to a riot somewhere.
Exactly.
Or crowdfunding.
Actually, that's probably where their fucking group was going to.
Oh my god.
Essentially, the proceeds of this were going to support a hate group in Tennessee. The
Fuck
group
those people then.
Let's see. It is alleged that Williams and Clayton, both of them, were associated with a federally classified hate group known as the Brotherhood Forever, a group closely associated with the Aryan Nation. So yeah.
That sucks.
The preliminary.
Well, no, it's actually good. I'm glad they got their weed taken.
I'm glad they got arrested. The preliminary investigation indicates that mature marijuana product and/or the proceeds of its sale were destined for Tennessee in support of the Brotherhood. The investigation remains open, and more charges may follow, according to the police. So, with that being said, fuck those guys. I'm glad they got stolen. And this is the bad shit I fucking hate. No, don't use cannabis for hate. Don't use cannabis for any of that bullshit.
No.
Weed is good. Weed is medicine. Let people enjoy it freely.
Exactly, straight up. Like, I mean, it's one like, I can't believe that we live in 2021 and there's still actually like hate groups like it's 1950. Like, they
like
just don't.
Fucking 1800s.
You know what? I think the only thing is that we made it so that they were more scared to wear the hoods on their heads. Back then, we could identify who they were by the people running around with a fucking hood on their head, right? Now they all took their hoods off and they're just on Twitter.
Yeah, or they wait until they're all in the woods jerking each other off by the fire.
Exactly, right? Like, I hate that shit. But no, straight up, that's. I'm glad they got busted. I'm glad that they're in jail, and I hope that they feel that loss of money in their nether regions.
Exactly. Fuck those pieces of shit. And also, while we're at it, fuck anybody who donated to that one guy to go to that riot.
I know, straight up. Who does that? There are people who are, like, straight up funding for kidney transplants and shit, and you fucking fund a dude to go smoke weed and fucking cap. God, fuck.
Right. At least give us weed to fucking smoke fucking here in the glorious
I
of our own
know.
house.
Like
With
Curtis
all
said,
that,
we have a Patreon. Just donate to us.
with all that, Shank, what's your next news story?
So my next news story is also it's kind of something that we've hammered home a million goddamn times in the past. This is a story about spice. And I'm not talking about the new Dune movie. Dennis Villeneuve
Okay.
has nothing to do with this. But spice as in K2 or Yucatan fire or fake weed. That kind
Right.
of shit.
Fucking byproduct of bullshit chemicals mixed together to make you feel like you're smoking weed, even though it's
Yeah.
actually fucking your brain up.
Yeah, a product that essentially, whenever the FDA bans it from circulation, they switch the formula by like one slight chemical compound and re-release it and sell it until the FDA pulls it, and then they change the compound and they re-release
Do
it.
it again,
Like,
do it again.
yeah,
Do it again.
yeah,
Do.
it's a horrible thing, and we've talked about that before in the past. And this story specifically covers Florida.
Florida.
See, I told you, Tennessee. We're not just picking on you today. Um, this is about the fact that over 40 people have been hospitalized in Florida for excessive bleeding caused by spice drug, a drug called spice, going by the name on the streets of spice, I should say.
Right.
So, dozens of Floridians have been hospitalized due to their use of a cannabis alternative, and I do that with the biggest of air quotes. And so, more than 40 residents in Florida's Hillsborough County have been hospitalized due to severe bleeding caused by the use of synthetic cannabis. They say, and I quote, "We are closely monitoring this situation and working with public health agencies. Toxicologists and poison specialists are assisting hospitals in the treatment of these poisoned patients." That's from the Florida Poison Control Commission or whatever. People in charge of if you get
the center.
The
Region
poison.
C.
Yeah,
Corporation.
The corporation? Question mark.
Oh
but-
yes, BSIC, BSIC. Yes.
Oh yeah, the SIBS, CCSS, SID, SSBDSM.
Whoa.
But anyway, so the individuals in question displayed symptoms that are associated with something called coagulopathy, which is a condition where your blood's ability to clot is like not there.
No, it's where you can bend someone's blood, like Avatar, blood bending.
Blood bending. Isn't that technically a form of like
It's
metal
coagulopathy.
bending? Yeah, I thought that's necrophilioma. That's a different thing. That's a
way different thing.
Way different thing. Anyway, it's like basically something where your blood doesn't clot properly, and it's not good, obviously, because if your blood doesn't clot properly, then you bleed from your nose, your gums, you vomit blood, you poop blood, you pee blood, and there's other things that are just not friendly. So essentially, it's not a good situation to find yourself in, and alternative cannabis things have led to seizures, like just random ass shit.
Fucking brain rot and just brain damage in general.
Nothing good. And that's the thing is I don't really like to fearmonger. I'm all like experiment, have fun, blah blah blah, but I've heard nothing but terrible things about it. And I will in no way, shape, or form endorse anybody ever using it. If any of you buds think that I would ever do so, it'll never happen.
I do hate to admit it, but I will say just straight up, I have firsthand experience in K2 and Spice when that was the only thing available. It is terrible. It is absolutely horrible. I am glad I stopped when I did. If you need help stopping, please contact the buds. We can help you through that. But
Yeah.
do not fucking do Spice. Firsthand experience can tell you, don't. It's just bullshit.
Yeah, as a great video game once said, don't do it. But no, it's 100%. 100%. But anyway, this has been happening a lot in Florida. So if you live in Florida right now, honestly, just get some.
Or just anywhere.
Or just anywhere, and all you have access to is K2. Just go on the internet and find Delta 8 shit.
Right. If that's all you have access to, either A, Delta 8, which is way better and way safer, or B, campaign, fucking go out and get it legalized.
Find a bud, like go find a bud.
Find some more buds.
Like,
and then go fucking...
Yeah, like just be chill. Don't do that shit. We love our buds, and we don't want to see any of you getting hurt with that garbage, so...
Absolutely.
Straight up. But
So,
anyway, if you want to check that out, it's at 420intel.com. I do have a link down below for you buds in the description. There's not a whole lot to the story, but there are some links going off of it you may want to check out.
absolutely. And last but not least, our last real quick story that I have. This comes to us from kcratv.com. That's
Goes
not
in
part of
tight.
it. I just sneezed. See, I'm a real person.
Yeah, we're not just animated characters. I keep telling you guys this.
So the link is in the description below. The story is that California pot companies are warning of an impending industry collapse. The legal cannabis market in California is basically being understood, being seen, and the leading cannabis companies, which include the CEOs, uh, industry officials, legalization advocates, and a whole bunch of other, important people in the cannabis business, have essentially signed and released an open letter to Governor Gavin Newsom of California, stating that the state's legal industry is on the verge of collapse and uh, is in need of immediate tax cuts and a rapid expansion of retail outlets to steady the shaky marketplace.
Yeah.
As we've mentioned before on the podcast multiple times, there are multiple different factors that are going into this. First and foremost, you have a whole bunch of illegal cannabis growers that are coming in who are able
Yeah.
to make a whole bunch of cheap weed. Mind you, they're fucking
Yeah,
up the environment.
they
They're
can
constantly being
undercut
caught and
all of
shit.
the
But
stores because the stores have to compensate for taxation, labor,
storefront,
testing, storefront, all the overhead,
transportation,
like all the overhead security, you name it, right? There's a lot of overhead in that kind of business that they can really kind of cut corners on in the illegal market.
absolutely. So with that, you have a huge influx of cannabis that's being grown illegally and sold illegally. Second factor, taxes.
Yeah.
Obviously, California, especially if you live in the United States, then you know. If you don't, California has one of, if not the highest, uh, expensive living.
It's the cost of
Essentially,
living there. I believe if you make $100,000 or less, you qualify for government assistance,
exactly.
which is an
Where
obscene
everywhere,
amount of money.
but
Like,
pretty much everywhere else, that's at least enough to raise
yeah,
yourself,
to
a
live
wife,
for
and
a
a family,
year, if
kid.
you have $100,000 a year, you're okay.
Right.
Like you're
At
doing all
least middle
right.
class or so.
Yeah, you're
But
doing all right.
with that, California itself, like the minimum wage, at least has to be like fucking what was it? I think it was like $10 or $11 just
Oh,
to compensate for everything else that's super high marked up
oh
with
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. So business costs are obviously going to be higher as well if cost of
Business
living
costs
is
are
higher.
higher, and obviously taxation is going to be higher. Then you add it on to a market that's not only niche, but it's also still illegal in other parts of the United States, and it's uh, what's the word I'm looking? Not taboo, but it's
Um,
in the same. It's a commodity, basically tax.
yeah, it's one of those things that it is a niche commodity. It's not something that everybody wants. Like California, a lot of people want it. Don't get us wrong. Like California is a
But
very
but
green
it doesn't mean
state.
every single person wants
Yeah,
it. So with that, then they have the ability to tax it. With that taxation, equivalent that to California's tax and California's cost of living.
yeah.
Essentially, it becomes really fucking expensive for weed.
Well, California has extra taxes, I believe, as well, in regards to health taxes and stuff like that. When it comes to things like if it has anything that could possibly be a carcinogen on it or in
Yeah,
it, like they'll label it as such. They'll put a sticker on it saying this an item in this
right,
may contain cancer-causing ingredients or whatever, and
right, right,
like
right.
they'll tax it extra, right? Like it's like
So
it'll get extra taxation.
with all this extra cash on it, it makes it way more expensive to buy on the legal market,
Hmm.
where for the same aider, you would probably pay, I don't know, $70
Yeah,
in California market, 70
yeah,
$80. Here in Michigan, you're paying $50 to $60 for it for a prepackage,
yeah.
or you can
And they've
get
got
cheaper stuff.
designer strains coming out where you get like 3 gram, like 3.5s. You get an eighth for like fucking 100 and something bucks because it's got
That
someone's name on it.
different thing altogether.
Yeah,
But essentially, you got those ones, but then you also have fucking these illegal strains where you can get a fucking whole ounce for fucking 80 or $90
yeah,
or some shit.
yeah. Oh
Half,
yeah,
or at least a half ounce, maybe.
straight up. Yeah,
But
straight up.
regardless, it's
It's
way
cheaper.
cheaper to buy from there. There's a lot more of it around, and with droughts and a whole bunch of other shit, which is the third factor, environmental hazards and stuff like
Hmm.
that, it's way easier to grow and shit like that. So essentially, the legal markets are saying, yo, you need to cut taxes on us, and you need to cut the tax on the cannabis itself for the
Yeah.
consumers. You have to open expansion because,
Yeah,
like
let
I
us
said,
open more
there's
stores.
because those stores in the middle of the desert, every store that's not open, that's a whole bunch of tents that are getting fucking illegal cannabis grown in them
Yeah, well,
that
I
they're
mean,
just
you
gonna
just
have
had
to
one
tear
open up
down.
down the street from your house, man. Like that's exactly it. Now you've got a place that's even closer to you. So if you had, for example, there was a legal weed dispensary, like say 20 minutes. It was 20 minutes away before. What, like 15,
Before
20 minutes driving?
it took me about, or it took an hour out of my day to go there and
Yeah.
back,
So like half
more if
hour
I
there,
had to
half hour
wait.
back, maybe yeah, longer. So okay, so you had that. Now if you had someone who just was a buddy of yours who grew and was close by and had quality stuff, like
Which
between
I
you and
did.
yeah, what you did, between you and that dealer or that legal like dispensary, you go to your buddy, which makes sense.
Exactly.
Which makes
Most of
sense.
the time I did. And
Yeah,
that's the
which
thing.
yeah.
I go to the dispensary when I want an aider or something to try on the podcast. But if I want
Yeah.
an ounce that I want to smoke behind the scenes for myself, I'm going
Yeah,
to my buddy because it's way
exactly.
fucking cheaper and it's
And
just the same amount of
closer.
shit. Way
And it's
closer too.
convenient and it's closer and it's cheaper and like that's the thing though, when they open another store, if it's closer than the buddy, you're probably, you might go to the store every now and then. You're still going to go to your buddy because your buddy's your buddy and you're like, you know, you want to
Right.
hang out, but like at the same time you're
Now
still
I'm probably gonna go
but now you'll go
half
to the
and half as
dispensary. Yeah.
opposed to three
Yeah.
out of 4 times.
Exactly, right? So what they're saying is in California, they want to be able to open more stores in more locations so people
Right.
can start buying
Yes.
weed
Of course. Yeah.
from them.
Right.
Buy
Obviously,
weed from
you're not
me.
making any you're not making any tax dollars if you're fucking not burning them out. But if you put more stores out and then you lower the tax, it's going to equal out because more people are buying legal weed because they can afford it.
Yeah. No, don't buy weed from
That's
them.
it.
Buy weed from me. Like, you know, like
Exactly.
yeah.
So, like I said, California, all the leading cannabis companies, the officials, the fucking legalization advocates, the lawyers, everybody has complained, and they finally put their stuff into a letter, sent it off to the governor, and now falls in his court. Let's see what the fuck goes on.
Boom.
Good for you, California, for letting them know, hey, this shit's about to go down. Fix it, fix it,
Yeah.
fix it, fix it,
Fix it.
fix it,
Fix
fix
it.
it, fix it,
Please.
fix it.
Yeah, seriously, we just made this shit legal. We want to set a good example for the entire country so the federal government legalizes it and doesn't have an issue with it. Don't be a dick.
Especially for the fact that this is California. I mean,
Yeah.
we still have Colorado, we still got Washington, but
I know.
California has the Emerald Triangle.
I
They are
know.
known for this.
They must stand. They must
They
stand
have
firm.
to stand.
We
If
believe
they
in you,
don't stand
California.
firm, we will never get it
I
legalized.
know they're
in
on
the
shaky
entire rest.
ground. I know they're on shaky ground. What with the fault there and everything, the San Andreas fault. Or
Ah, I
whatever.
see what you did there.
But
and let's
but
stop
they are
that.
solid. They're solid. They've got you've got this, buds. Jones.
Yeah, they are rock solid.
They are rock solid.
Dwayne Johnson is there.
Oh my God,
Um,
you're right.
So,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
all that being said, that has been Weed News Worldwide. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, that's it for Weed News Worldwide this week. I love the stories this week. Anyway, I do want to say we're going to hop into another segment, but before we hop into that other segment, we are first going to hop into this ad spot.
Hey buds, you really want to show off your love of marijuana, or just really shine at your next smoke session? You really want to go to myhighshop.com for some of the coolest cannabis clothing and accessories. They have shirts, sweats, jewelry, grinders, and even pipes made out of amethyst crystals. You can check them out using the link below and let them know I sent you by using code GoodBudsCurtis at checkout. You can save 35% off your entire order and free shipping. Again, that's code GoodBudsCurtis at checkout. Thank you to myhighshop.com, and let's get back to the show.
Thank you, My High Shop, very much. I bet you buds have already clicked on that link and bought some awesome swag for your homies for Christmas.
Absolutely. You know they're going to love that shit.
Yeah.
And shit that I'm loving right now is this weed. And Shank, hopefully you're loving yours. How are you feeling right now?
Man, I am feeling top notch. A little bit spacey. I'm feeling a little bit kind of in and out, you know what I mean? Very, very heavy in my chair, but I still feel like I have an awesome amount, like a good amount of energy. I don't feel like I'm drowsy down. I feel like I'm kind of like locked down, you know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah.
like I'm sitting in my chair right now. It's like it's a battle station kind of situation. Like I've had the munchies. I've been kind of secretly, not so secretly, kind of munching on a few chips every now and then throughout the episode here.
So you have gotten the
Um,
munchies.
so I have got the munchies. They were accurate with that assessment. Overall, though, good. My brain's still functioning properly. I still feel like I'm all there. I just feel a little bit spacey. You know what I mean? It's hard to focus on any one object for any long period of time.
Right.
Maybe an attention span thing, and it may be a concentration thing, but I enjoy it. Overall, good feeling, fun feeling, awesome strain. I like this UK cheese, and it gets 2 thumbs up from me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But how are you feeling, Curtis?
I'm feeling good. I'm relaxed. I'm uppity. I'm not fucking tired or anything like that, which I should be. It's getting late.
Yeah.
But it's nice. I am feeling a little tingle in the back of my throat now after I've had a couple hits and
You
smoked
got
the
the
joint.
tingles?
Slight tingle. I don't know if it's supposed to be a good tingle or a bad tingle. I think I just need some water.
Yeah.
But I do got some Baja Blast here still. So,
Uh-huh.
yeah. All in all, I think it's a very nice strain. I think it's very tasty. I'm not super jelly. I'm glad I have it.
I'm a little jelly. I wish I could try some. I can't wait until they do make it federally legal so that we can work on this whole, like, trading strains and stuff like that, and I can start trying these strains that you've gotten. I can. If I could vote as a Canadian for you guys to legalize it, I would.
That would be cool.
If they're like, Canadians, how do you feel about America legalizing cannabis in Canada?
Yes!
Canada just unanimously votes yes for legalizing cannabis down in the States, and the president just like looks at it and goes, "Good enough for me."
Not even that,
That's
just all Canadians.
executive
just-
decision.
No, not even that. Just all Canadian citizens just turn face the United States and just all simultaneously scream yes at the same time.
Yep. And we all
Just
blow.
loud
We
enough
all,
for
we
all
all
of America.
exhale a big ass puff of weed and just like fog out all of America just for 5 minutes.
Just fog it out and then just scream yes, so it just travels south.
Yep. And then it's like, yeah.
It'll dissipate
time it
before it
gets-
hits Texas.
By the time it gets to Mexico, it'll be like, see.
It's like the telephone effect.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh man,
Oh.
that'd be magnificent. Yeah, but straight up, that's good, man. I'm glad you're feeling.
It's good.
Nice and energetic and happy, man. That's.
But I'm
I like
also
strains
happy
like-
that. But then again, I might also just be happy because holiday season, love is in the air. It's Christmas time,
It's true.
and also there's a weed store right down the street. Everything is good and grand. And with all of that, buds, I have a bong packed right here, ready to go.
And I have a bong packed right here, ready to go. That was good.
And
resonance.
hopefully, and you can join us as we believe that Tok Tokshka Boke. And then we will get into our conversation. Hey, buds, welcome to the conversation portion of the episode. I am joined here still by Shank. I'm still
Hey, hey.
Curtis, and we are joined by Isaac, as always. How you doing today, Isaac? Hungover from all that, Harry Palmer?
No, you guys woke me up. Fuck off.
Yeah, it's a tired time of year. Sleepy time
The
of year.
tiring time of year. We know. Yes.
Yeah.
This is around the holiday time, and there's many holiday traditions that we all know and love. There's the ones that we all know about for Christmas, where you put up the tree, you go shopping, and you spend a fuck ton on Amazon.
Yeah.
We also know about the little-known traditions, such as GTA's event, where it's just snow and winter everywhere, from
Yep.
all the episodes of SpongeBob that involve Christmas that are coming
Yeah.
on that I have
Random
to wait
ass-
until
yeah.
now.
Random ass gingerbread houses and shit like that. Just basic stuff that everybody knows about, and it's not that exciting.
Exactly. We're kind of have gone. What's the word? We've grown tired and grown weary of the traditional Christmas traditions.
Yeah.
It's
It's
Rudolph
just ringing my
the
bell.
fucking red-nosed reindeer.
It's not ringing my bell
Welcome.
anymore. It's not getting. It doesn't get me chubby anymore.
Dancer and Prancer, maybe. They started talking about Vixen, commenting Cupid. All right, they lost me at Blitzen. So
It's
What
true.
we
Frosty's
had-
pretty thick. Not gonna lie.
Frosty dummy thick.
okay, we don't need that right now. So we decided to go out and check out some new traditions, all new to us. They're old traditions from around the world. Everybody does different shit for Christmas, so we
Yeah.
decided to find some of the best ones we could.
Mhm.
Before we let you buds know what it is that we found today, we have some bongs packed. I have some of that YU jelly
Yes, he
in a
does.
bong
man.
right here.
Okay,
I
why
got-
jelly?
Why you jelly?
Why you jelly?
Oh.
And I got some of that brilliant UK cheese.
And Isaac, it looks like you got a can of Harry Palmer right there.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Well,
Crack that.
you crack that, and buds at home. Hopefully, you have your bongs packed, bowls packed, joints rolled, blunts rolled, vapes ready, rigs ready, edibles. Take another bite if you so please.
Mm-hmm.
It is time to blaze it. Tok tok shkaboke.
Toke smoke. Yum, yum, yum.
Delicious, as always. Okay.
Man, that is nice and potent.
All right. So, holiday
Yeah.
traditions from around the world.
Yes,
Let
we're an
us
international podcast, right? So
Absolutely, it makes sense that we go even more international. So, for the first one, Hank, do you want to start us off?
absolutely, 100% I would. So obviously, I've for years been a big fan of this one. It's hands down my favorite of all weird international traditions, and that would be the tale of the Yule Cat. Now, like a lot of really strange holiday traditions, this one comes from Iceland. And now,
Iceland, it's a pretty weird place.
Iceland, well, I mean, if you live in a place like Iceland, you know, you see some incredible things, right? But
Yeah, when you're, completely derived from everybody else in the world and you're on a frozen island that's
Yeah.
just, surrounded by fish.
yeah, so yeah, it's pretty true. It's pretty true. So, but Yule Cat is not just a regular cat. Yule Cat is described as a huge and vicious cat who lurks about the snowy countryside during Christmas time, and it eats people who have either not received any new clothes to wear before Christmas Eve, or who have received clothing and decided not to wear it. So if your grandma gives you an ugly ass Christmas sweater that she's like, I knitted this all year, and you're like, fuck, I don't want to wear that, and you don't, Yule Cat is coming for your ass, and he's going to eat you. Straight up eat your ass. He's just going to eat you. Like, and it's like,
I mean, if he's
yeah.
gonna eat me out, my ass, you better
And,
fucking
yeah,
take me on a date.
No, the whole thing, man. The whole, he'll start from the ass, but
Well, damn, that pussy ain't playing.
no. So though referred to as an ancient tradition, written accounts of the Yule Cats have only been located as recently as around the 19th century, though there are some earlier like reference type things than that. And essentially, the threat of being eaten by the Yule Cat was used by farmers as incentive for their workers to finish processing the autumn wool before Christmas time. So basically, they would be like, hurry up and keep working, because if we don't process all this wool, then people won't have clothes for
And they're gonna
Christmas
get
Eve,
eaten.
and they'll get eaten, and it'll be your fault. So it's
Damn.
yeah. So
Thank God they unionized so they don't get that guilt trip shit anymore.
I know, right? And alternatively, it's also been described as eating all of the food of people who haven't gotten new clothes instead of eating the people themselves. But honestly, if you live in a place that's scarce of food,
Yeah, that's the
yeah.
PG-13 version.
I mean, to be fair, eating all your food is still a death sentence. So straight up, like, this thing is it's terrifying, and it's gigantic, and it literally looks like Norwegian forest cats. Is anybody I'm sure you've probably seen them, but they're those cats that look like Maine Coons but even bigger. Like, they're huge cats.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine that, but literally on a giant scale with a candle on top of its head wandering around the countryside to eat people.
This is like dire cat size.
Like, yeah. No, we're talking like house-sized cat. Like it's gigantic.
Not the size of a house cat, the size of a
the
house.
size of a cat that is the size of a house.
Okay.
So, and it's just to me that just strikes me as really fucking hilarious, because they could
It's
have
like
picked any
Clifford,
animal.
but
They-
it's
like they could have been like bears, they could have been like fucking like giant wolves or like foxes, or no, it's a cat, and it's gonna eat you.
well, there's a reason it's a cat, Shank.
Yeah.
It leads right into my next one, actually. The Yule Cat is actually owned by Grilla and Lipolodi, who are also Icelandic things. They also eat people and a whole bunch of other shit. But
They're giants, right?
exactly, they're giants, they're humpbacks, they're fucking old and ancient and all that stuff. They're weird in and of themselves, and you guys need to go to Wikipedia or go to any source and find it out. But But I'm more
100%.
interested in her sons.
Yeah, yeah.
She has 13 sons. The two of them have 13 sons.
Yeah.
They are the Yule Lads. You may or may not have heard of them. But yeah, the Icelandic Yule Lads. There are 13 of them. The first one comes on the 12th of December,
Mm-hmm.
and each one comes every day after. They stay for 13 days, and then the first one leaves on the 25th of December, and the last one leaves on the 6th of January.
Yep.
So each of the 13 ones of them stay for 13 days. Now,
And like overlapping, kind of.
exactly, overlapping. So at one point, all 13 of them are in the house.
Yeah.
Now, the unfortunate part is all of them are basically little fucking shitheads, and they all try to fuck with you in one way, shape, or form. They're all very specific at one specific thing.
Mhm.
Way of fucking with you specifically. I keep
Yes.
saying specific. Anyway,
Specifically specific.
correct. So, the first of the Yule Lads is, by the way, I'm only going to go by their English translated names because I could sit here and butcher the Icelandic names, but I'd rather just let you guys understand exactly what these guys are about.
Yeah.
So, the first one is Sheepcoat Claude, and that is a guy who harasses sheep, but he's impaired because he has peg legs. But
That's
with
tough.
his peg legs, he goes and harasses sheep.
That reminds
Next-
me of a game that I play called Sanitarium. There's a little girl in one of the sequences in the game who has two peg legs that are wooden, and they call her Peg.
Hold on. So the second Yule Lad is Gullygawk, who hides in gullies, waiting for an opportunity to sneak into the cowshed and steal milk.
It's always
Basically, all of
gawking
them.
at you.
Exactly. Basically, all these guys have some form of stealing food or some bullshit.
What a dick.
I know, right?
Every morning with my cereal. Literally.
Yeah, well, he's gonna steal your milk, Isaac.
All right, well, I'll steal his mother.
Oh
Well,
shit!
you won't have milk to go into your cereal, but your cereal is just crumbs. Oh no, Stubby, the third one comes. He's abnormally short, but he steals pans and eats the crust left on them. So you have no more crumbs to make cereal with.
Not my pan crust. No.
Not
Next
the
is-
stuff that takes forever to get off when I'm washing it. No.
Oh, and if you think that's bad,
He
you
sounded
won't even
kinda
have
helpful.
If that sounds bad, you won't have a spoon to eat it with, because the fourth one is Spoon Licker, who steals and licks wooden spoons. He's extremely thin due to malnutrition.
Oh man! Now he's taking your spoon too, Isaac. You can't have your milk. You can't have your crumbs. You can't have your spoon.
Well, next
oh
up
no, the wooden spoon that doesn't do anything when I use metal ones.
is Pot Scraper, who steals leftovers from pots.
Not pot that scaffold.
Oh no, the stuff that gets wasted in the refrigerator.
Oh yeah, well you won't even have a bowl to eat your cereal with, because next
Hey,
comes
man.
Bowl Licker. He hides under your bed, waiting for someone to put down their bowl, and then he steals it.
He stole your bowl, Isaac.
Oh,
Right next to your
not
bed,
the bowl,
because
but I
that's-
don't
wait,
put
Curtis.
I don't put my bowls by my bed. I put
Curtis,
them in the sink because I'm a good
Is your
Samaritan.
pipe on your desk? Don't put your pipe on the floor at Christmas time, because if you put your pipe, he's gonna steal your bowl.
Ah, I see what you said. I see what you did. I see what you
Yeah.
did. All right, so the next one.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So the next one is Door Slammer. He likes to slam doors in the middle of the night, waking
What a-
people up.
Hey, it's me when I rage.
Next is Skeer Gobbler, who eats yogurt. And by eat yogurt, I mean he steals your yogurt.
He steals your yogurt. So
Then
when you run out of cereal, he steals your yogurt.
The next two are pretty self-explanatory. There's Sausage Swiper and Window Peeper. Then we have Doorway Sniffer. He has an abnormally large nose and an acute sense of smell, which he uses to locate leaf bread. This one hits a little close to home for me.
Yeah, that's kind of mean.
A little bit. Well, the next one we have is Meat Hook.
Either a supervillain
No,
or
don't get any ideas. He uses his hook to steal meat.
That's it.
That's what it means. And the final one is Candle Stealer, who follows children in order to steal their candles, which are usually made out of fat and therefore they're edible. So he eats candles.
That's hilarious. Oh my god. Oh man, this is great.
So, yeah.
The Yule Lads are fantastic. Like
They are. See, fuck Elf on a Shelf. I want Yule Lads in my pad.
Yes. Okay, I'm patenting that right now. If anybody hears that out there, that's our idea.
I'm getting fucking 13 of these little dolls and just hiding them in specific
Straight
spots.
up, you just hide one per day starting on the 12th of December, and
Exactly.
It's
Put one by my sheep. I put
15th.
one in my gully. I'll put one next to my pans. I'll stick one next to my wooden spoon.
Yeah.
But it's-
Stick
the
one
one
in
in
a
my
tub-
yogurt
is
tubby,
gonna
stick
wear-
one in a tub of yogurt, like a hot tub.
One's just gonna be like
we're past.
one's just gonna be
no,
Hellraiser.
it won't be for this year. It won't be for this year, but maybe next year we'll make all. Yeah, you could get your
One
your other half. Curtis is pretty artsy. You could get her to make them for you.
I know. We can do that together.
Make it a couples activity.
Exactly. We can set up the fridge to be like a Hellraiser activity, and that'll be Meat Hook.
Yes. Oh my god. And it'll
Just
just
have
be
him
a,
set up, like-
a sausage with a bunch of fish hooks in it and little chains.
It's just gonna be a little elf in the background wearing an elf costume, but he's gonna be Pinhead.
Yeah, and it's got like literally a sausage in the middle of the fridge, like with just a bunch of meat hooks stuck
Just-
into it.
Cut in
Honestly,
half, being
sounds
ripped
better than
apart.
the actual movie.
I think so. Maybe after the
Honestly.
third one, then they
Yeah, that's
started
gonna-
getting weird.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's
yeah,
a great
Isaac-
idea, Curtis. Yeah.
I think. What about you? What have you found for weird, worldly traditions?
We did the traditions.
Weird traditions.
One I actually dislike, and I think it's weird,
Mhm.
is Krampus.
Krampus?
The Krampus.
The monster in Germany that eats the kids that get coal. So he gives them coal and then eats them.
Yeah,
So
so
you
if
think
you're
he's
if you're
cramping Christmas style?
yeah, if you're a bad kid, not only are you getting coal, you're also getting eaten.
You're also getting fucking murdered.
Do you
by
know
a
why
monster.
Do you know why I bet that tradition caught on? Because there were probably kids like me that were like, "You're getting a." If my mom was like, "You're gonna get a lump of coal for Christmas if you keep being bad," and I was like, "That's awesome." I've never held a piece of actual coal in my hand. Like I've had like charcoal. I've never had a legitimate piece of coal. That'd be cool. I would love to own a piece of coal.
Oh, and then plus windows. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's like, dude, a piece of coal would make an excellent projectile. But no,
Dumbass.
my mom had.
Yeah.
But if my mom had been like, "You're gonna get eaten," fuck.
Now, Isaac, are you saying you don't like the tradition, you don't like the idea of it, or are you saying you don't like the movie? Because I thought David Koechner was all right in it, but that was
Yes.
about it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
To everything, yes.
yeah. So like traditionally, what does Krampus do to kids like when he's gonna fucking when they've been bad little shits? Just like does he just beat him?
He just eats them.
just fucking munches
I think he
them
just.
out?
I think he eats them like.
No, Shank, he
House-
takes him out to fucking Baskin Robbins first.
Well, hold
I
on,
think
hold
he-
on.
I think he eats them Hostel 2. Well, you know.
I thought
If you guys ever seen Hostel 2,
I
there's
thought
a
there was
scene where the
yeah.
guy has a dude tied up to the table and he comes up, puts his little napkin on, he grabs his little fork and knife and he's cutting a chunk off his leg and just eats it while he's still alive.
Yep, yep. That movie is pretty goddamn fucking vicious.
And shitty.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh well,
All the
yeah.
hostels are shitty.
Yeah, well,
Hilarious.
the acting is terrible in them, but I mean the gore effects.
That's why
are
they're
like-
hilarious.
Yeah, the gore
Hilarious.
effects are good. The gore effects are
Hilarious.
fantastic and hilarious. Oh, it is hilarious. Yeah.
Paranormal activities. No,
It's
that's
one
hilarious.
of those things that it's like it's
Fucking
horrible.
God.
But even the
Oh.
Krampus movie was like
Hilarious.
was
It
interesting.
was all right, honestly. I'll
Could
give
have done
it
it a
a.
bit better, but
No,
They could have done it
No.
a bit better, but at the same time, for their first run, really,
they could have
at,
made
like,
it better if it was rated R. That's PG-13.
even better, they could have made it better if it was based on Yule Cat.
I would like to see
Or
people
Yule Lads.
getting ripped
The Yule
apart.
Cat and the Yule Lads. The Yule Lads
I
come and
wanna
fuck with the people in the house, and then they all run out of the house, and Yule Cat eats their asses.
But Isaac, I do agree with you. People getting absolutely fucking decimated and shredded for
They
Christmas.
advertised it as a horror movie. That
Yeah,
was
they
not
did.
a horror movie.
They
Yeah,
were
did.
trying to scare kids, like, "Ooh, Krampus is back!"
Yeah.
Like, no,
Well, that's exactly.
no one gives a
That's
fuck about
exactly it. You know,
kids.
like Krampus ultimately is a story for the kids, though, right? As horrific as it is, and as bloody and gory as it is. It's for the kids. Like it's funny because all of these stories are ultimately mostly for children. They're like that's the best thing about them. That's why it's so funny to me because they're all like violent and horrible and vicious and about like people stealing your shit and everything else. And they're like parents are straight up just like telling their kids stop being a little asshole or fucking you're gonna get eaten.
See, now I do have a tradition that's more or less for the adults.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's hear. Let's
so-
hear that one.
BDSM?
Well, that's an all year
that
tradition.
comes later,
though.
Isaac.
That's an all year tradition.
That's all year
Oh.
round.
That stands for
No.
bondage, domination, Santa masochism. Actually.
Oh, I thought it was bondage DS.
DS.
Nintendo DS.
Nintendo.
Oh, it's Curtis's turn to lag.
I thought it meant banging DS match.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what that's exactly what it means. But Curtis, what tradition do you got? That's fucking like
So-
adult oriented.
So the tradition that I'm referring to is the Welsh tradition of Mari Lwyd, or Fari Lwyd, if you're...
Marry the weed? I'll marry the weed right now, but my girlfriend. wouldn't
Lwyd.
let. Oh,
Lwyd.
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 Lead
Lwyd.
G.
Lwyd. Hold on, Google Translate it, Curtis. I don't know what it's. I don't know. It's Welsh, right? So that's the thing. Is the weirdest thing is Welsh as a language is very
it's
interesting.
Lwyd.
Lwyd. It's like Lwyd or something like that. Yeah, marry the weed.
I'm just gonna say Mary Lwyd. Anyway,
Yeah, that's good enough.
So anyway, it's a folklore character who's essentially fucking a folklore thing in Wales.
Yeah.
This was first recorded around the 1800s as a tradition being performed by groups of men who would accompany a horse on its travel around the local area. This eventually has turned into a tradition where now they take the skull of a horse, post it up on a stick, put a cloth behind it so it kind of looks like a ghost and it kind of has a body, and then they drape that over a person. They make it so the mouth can talk or move and stuff like that. They give it eyes. They dress it all the fuck
Yeah.
up.
Dress
Give
it
it
to the
gems.
nines.
They give it ribbons, and they make it look like this really fucking creepy ass statue.
Oh yeah.
So what happens then is the Mari Lwyd fucking walks around, goes house to house with a group of caretakers or handlers for the Mari Lwyd.
The puppet.
And what
masters.
happens? Yeah,
Yeah.
and what happens is the Mari Lwyd will stand outside of a house and it will start yelling at the owners of the house in rhyme why it should have to come in or why the owners of the house have to let it in.
Yeah.
The owners of the house then have to reply back, also in rhyme, why they cannot let the Mari Lwyd in. If they go back and forth with this until one of them gives up or one of them can't, come up with it. If it's the Mari Lwyd who can't come up with anything, they just move on to the next house.
That's awesome.
If it's the people in the house who can't come up with anything, they have to let the Mari Lwyd and its group of caretakers into the house where they have free range to raid the fridge and take all their beer and all their food, and then leave.
See, I'd just be
Holy
like,
shit.
no, I can't try and see ya. I got really bad diarrhea.
You
Mari
have
and
bad
the weed.
diarrhea? It doesn't matter. Let the weed inside you.
That
Them,
didn't rhyme. You suck bad. I'm still shitting, and I'm sad.
them versus Eminem.
Oh fuck.
Oh fuck.
Oh man,
Put
that'd be
Eminem-
bars. It'd be like the devil went down to Georgia, but way better. Eminem went down to Wales.
The Mari Lwyd is thinking I can come in, but instead I'm smoking my weed and he really can't come in.
See, can you imagine though if Eminem went to Wales one year and did that as the Mary Louise? He was the Mary Louise, so he just went up to your house and he fucking
Mary
and
Louise, I
it's
don't know what you're talking. I don't know what you're squawking. You can't walk in.
Yeah,
That's an
I'm cooking in my
awfully hot
walk-in. I'm
coffee
cooking
pot.
ramen. You can't comment.
your beard is
You can't
weird.
comment on my ramen.
Yeah, the door hinge was orange with 4 inches in the ditch. In the ditch pin.
I'm gonna leave you and the caretakers in a ditch. I got an RPG. I'm going boom.
Yeah, straight up. Like
Talking
M
about
would
people
fucking
on New York on Zoom.
Now I'm imagining, okay, what we gotta do is we gotta go to MGM Studios or Lionsgate or some shit and we gotta pitch the movie of Mary Louise and see if we can cast Eminem as the Mary Louise. So he goes door to door and he goes up to a house and he's like, "Hey dog, you gotta let me in because I wanna come and fuck your door hinge."
Dude, that would actually be a great fucking collab idea. Imagine Eminem, Logic, Tech Nine, Busta
Yeah.
Rhymes.
Mary
all the
Louise
fast
in the
rappers.
hood, man. Mary Louise in the hood. Holy shit, Mary Louise hits Compton or some shit. She goes to Dr.
Okay.
Dre's house.
I've got to be Compton, but yeah, it
Well,
could be
just
something.
some rap city, some rap oriented rap mecca, somewhere where a lot of really good artists come out of, you know. Like one of the cities like California or something, like one of those cities
Hey,
where a lot of good
New
rap
York.
come out of. New York would be
New
fucking.
York.
Oh, New York.
Dumb,
would be
but
amazing.
that thing versus Biggie.
St. Louis.
Oh.
Oh, Mary Louise versus Biggie. Can you imagine? Mary
No,
Louise
Biggie would
played
just
by
talk
Tupac.
about.
Just have the Mary Louise be Biggie since it's already a ghost.
Oh.
Ooh, not too soon. He's been dead a long time, buds.
Oh, but I'm still.
but
I'm still
um,
offended because that's my favorite rapper.
he is a fantastic
Oh
rapper.
my god.
You know the best thing about dead rappers? They can't make any bad rap to ruin the amazing raps they've already recorded that are permanently recorded, so you can listen to them whenever you want. That's the
Biggie
best
never
thing.
made a bad rap.
Not one. No. He never awfully hot coffee pot. But he didn't have that moment. But anyway,
on the loop.
on to the now that we're
So yeah,
like
Mary Louise.
Mary Louise, fucking badass.
So yeah, if you ever
Badass.
find yourself in Wales during
Why-
Christmas time, rap battling a
I
horse
don't know.
skeleton who's about to raid your fridge for beer, it's completely normal. Just go with it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but when I hear that, I'm for some reason thinking of berries and cream, berries and
Berries
cream.
and cream.
I don't know
friend
why.
of Mary Louise.
I don't know why. I
Mary
don't know why,
Louise.
but
Mary Louise.
I'm thinking of berries and cream.
I don't know, man.
Oh,
It's
right
got
on
that
your
kind
fridge
of
for
ring
your
to it.
berries and cream.
It's got some of that. It's got some of that. And if we're butchering that pronunciation, we're not sorry because it's funnier that way.
Exactly.
Yes. But speaking of funny,
Go ahead,
my-
try typing it out in the comments and telling us we're wrong. I'm just gonna read it the same
yeah,
fucking
I'm
way.
just gonna read it the exact same way. That's like being like there. But
There you go.
there you go. See,
T
no,
H
that had,
E
where?
R.
that had context. So,
T
but
H E R E.
yeah.
Where,
But,
where?
But speaking of funny, my next one is hilarious. It's my favorite one and it's recent. I did not know about this until very recently. Yule Cat I've known about for a long time. This one,
Right.
I specifically was looking up weird stuff for this episode when I found this one. In
What have you
Catalonia,
found?
they are pooping their way through Christmas.
Huh?
I follow that
Um,
tradition.
So yeah, welcome to the bizarre Catalan tradition of cagatillo, or also known as the pooping log. So locals in Catalonia create a character out of a log, they draw a face on it, and they give it a hat. They then spend 2 weeks feeding it, like air quotes feeding it, fruits, nuts, and other candies, like candy and shit. And then on Christmas Eve, the entire family beats the log with sticks and sings a traditional song that essentially translates to, "If you don't crap well, I'll beat you with a stick," until the log excretes all of its treats.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, until the log poops out all of the candies and stuff that they put into it, so like a piñata, but poop.
Right.
A poop yada.
Poop yada.
Yeah, they beat it with a stick and literally chant over and over, "If you don't crap well, I'll beat you with a stick."
Why do I feel like this log says "Howdy ho"?
But also, they decorate their nativity scenes with small pooping ceramic, their cagagnés or figurines that are usually well-known characters that are often drawn from that year's news. So like whatever's popular that year. So say like when Kanye West said like anything Kanye West said.
Right.
Insert Kanye West here.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
It's like, whoa, Kanye, whoa. But anyway, basically, yeah, like if it was Kanye that was popular at that moment, they would make a Kanye figurine, but they would always be depicted with their pants around their ankles, having a poop or ready to have a poop.
Makes sense.
Yeah, this tradition is
I guess.
It's like it's strange. Nobody like it's hard to figure out why it hasn't caught on around the world. Like I want to get my own pooping log. I want to get my own log and put a hat on it and draw a face on it and then beat the shit out of it with a stick on Christmas Day.
Literally beat the shit out of it.
Literally beat the shit out of it with a stick and chant, "If you don't poop well, I'll beat you with a stick," as I'm doing it. Like that sounds so menacing. Can you
I'm
imagine
just gonna
someone
keep beating
standing
you
over
with a stick until
like
you
imagine
shit.
someone standing over you,
Imagine a
smacking you
doctor-
with a stick over and over.
No,
"If
even
you don't
worse,
poop
even-
well, I'll beat you with the stick."
No, even worse, Shank. Imagine if you had to give a stool sample at a doctor's office and that's how they had to get it from
Oh
you.
my god, yeah, you're in the bathroom.
Just the
trying to,
doctor's
like,
in there
trying
with
to
a tongue
squeeze it into
depressor.
A little, like, yeah.
The doctor's in there with a tongue depressor just smacking you over the fucking
Just
back.
swatting you in the
Get-
forehead. Just swatting you in the forehead.
Poop!
Yeah,
If you don't poop well, you fail this exam!
Yeah, straight up, exactly, right? Like, and
That
just imagine.
stool better be solid, god damn it.
Stool better be solid, god. Like, but yeah, that's what I mean. Like, straight up, it's just like you literally chant with your whole family whilst beating the thing with a stick. If you don't poop well, I'll beat you with a stick. Like,
That's amazing.
It's just
beat you with
this
a
is-
stick.
yeah.
Imagine if
you don't
yeah,
poop well,
now-
then I'll beat you with the stick.
See, now I'm just imagining it in a melancholy tone. If you don't poop well, I'll beat you with the stick.
See,
I
I just
can-
like one of those
poop
things where
well.
you do the emphasis wax, so it's like, if you don't poop well, I'll beat you with the stick.
Alright, that sounds a bit like Beastie Boys.
Oh damn!
If you don't poop well, I'll beat you with the stick.
I could totally see it as in like J.G. Wentworth style opera.
If you don't poop well,
Poop
I'll
well.
beat you with a stick.
If you don't poop, wait, if you don't poop well, I will beat you with a stick. You
With a
better
stick.
poop well, or I'll beat you with a stick.
With a stick.
I'll beat you with a stick.
Yeah, straight up though.
If you don't poop well, we'll beat you with a stick.
Call this number below. 1-888. Good buds.
It's your poop. Beat it while you need it.
Oh my god, this is seriously my new favorite Christmas tradition. I am telling everybody and everything about this tradition from now on. It's
I feel
hilarious.
like-
Me and my family are definitely doing a poop and log this year.
Oh, yeah, dude, straight up. I'm going out and getting along tomorrow.
I'm trying to celebrate or do the tradition of my last one
All right,
that
what's
happens
that?
in Japan.
All right,
Ooh, what did
all
Japan
right,
do?
hook me up.
On Christmas Eve, it is a tradition in Japan to have KFC.
I can
Okay.
get behind. Okay, now do they light it on fire or anything?
Why
No,
is this?
it's Christmas Eve dinner.
Dude, I can get behind that.
Exactly.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, yeah.
You know
I have
why
no,
they do it?
I have no why they do it, but
Okay.
I'm fucking in.
Well,
I do know a little. I know
show
a
a
little bit
show
about
a show of hands at home and on the podcast here. Who doesn't feel like cooking the day before Christmas?
this. I don't feel like they're cooking on Christmas. I don't feel like
I don't-
cooking at all.
I don't feel
And
like
that's my
cooking.
job.
Yeah, it's like fucking. I don't
Um,
want to cook Christmas Eve. Like honestly, if I could get KFC is delicious, obviously.
Right.
From what
I'd like
see,
to speak to the Colonel, Curtis.
They have to order a month in advance
Oh wow!
at
Holy
times
fuck!
because
Holy shit!
last minute the blocks are like crowded with people at KFC. Like it is crowded as when Chick-fil-A was hyped.
I can imagine.
I do know.
Like
I know a bit about this, and surprisingly enough, it was back in the 70s, I believe, when the first KFC came to Japan,
yeah.
and it was because of Americanism. Essentially, they thought, "Oh, it's super
Well,
American."
just like Japanese stuff
Remember-
is a novelty in America, American stuff is
Exactly.
a novelty in Japan.
Correct. And one of the biggest novelties they had over there was Christmas. Japan itself is not really a Christian country, so they didn't really celebrate Christmas.
Christmasusu
Oh, it-
is their word for it because they didn't have a word for Christmas.
So they just made one off of the American word,
Yeah.
just like Amerikanji.
Yeah.
But essentially, yeah, fucking when Americans finished up with World War II,
All that bad shit that we're,
yeah,
not gonna repeat, right, everybody?
right. But after that, they got introduced to
I was like,
Christmas, and they're like, "Oh, we want to celebrate this." So in the 70s, when the first KFC came to Japan, they decided to ask him, "Oh, do Americans usually, eat this stuff around the holidays?" And he did a huge promotional push in Japan that said, "Yes, Americans order huge KFC dinners and they eat big KFC dinners on Christmas. So if you want to have a proper Christmas, you have to have KFC." And that grew from there to the point where a $20 fill-up bucket in America is like a prized possession on Christmas Eve for them there.
Big brain
Like,
moves.
if you can get one of those, that's like fucking the holy grail. That's like getting a turkey for Thanksgiving here.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, it makes sense too, like, you'd probably have more traditional stuff on Christmas Day, but, like, like, Christmas Eve is usually a day that nobody wants to cook. Generally, you're gonna have some kind of big dinner. And, like, it's like, I mean, in North America, we'd have, like, what, a ham or maybe a turkey the day before and a turkey the day of, if you're fucking
I used
bougie.
I used to do ham, but now we do steaks.
Yeah, steaks are so much better. Like, steaks, they're individually portioned. They're the best food on the face of the earth, if cooked properly.
You know, my
Well,
family we used to do ham, and now we do steaks.
But my
'Cause
family does a
Yeah.
whole fucking thing, man. Like, we always have, like, you know, like, someone cooks a ham, someone cooks a rack of ribs, someone cooks a turkey, someone cooks a bunch of chicken. Like, and it's like, and you fucking go there, and there's, like, more food than you could ever eat, and you're like...
See, for us, we build ultimate munchie platters where
I have two
we'll
bowls of
essentially
this.
have a huge bowl of fucking fries, curly fries, chicken nuggets, fucking chicken fries, just onion rings, a whole bunch of basically bar food and fried food, little
yeah.
sandwiches, little mini pizzas, bagel bites, all that shit, Totino's pizza rolls.
Those bagel
So, yeah.
bites would be gone in 5 minutes. I'd be fucking, like, it doesn't matter how many
Oh.
there are. There could be hundreds of them, and I would fucking sit there until I
My
die.
my mom will just line 2 racks of the oven and fucking fill 2 air fryers in a crock pot and just
Yeah.
let shit go.
Yeah, my other
And-
half actually has to, like, when I buy like several packs of like fucking like bagel bites, my other half has to moderate me, because if she doesn't, if I buy like 5 of them or 6 of them, that like the 12 packs or 24 packs or what, I'll eat all of them in one day. And if I go to the fridge and open, and she hears the fridge open, she'll be like, "Don't have any bagel bites," if I've already had like 2 of them in a day.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I
So-
would eat them until I die.
Right. So yeah, basically
Yeah, that was pretty
Japan,
bitchin'.
good tradition, fucking Japan.
No, that's
Well,
smart, Japan. Like, straight up, and good choice, Isaac. That was a good choice. Like, because honestly, like,
Getting behind that one, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
I am on board with
Absolutely.
that. I am on board now. I
Now,
wonder if
Isaac,
KFC and
really
Yum is open
quickly,
this
I want you to Google. I want you to find if there's any American celebrity endorsement for Japanese KFC.
Yeah, do a real quick Google search. And while he's doing that Google search, I'm gonna remind you buds at home to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, because that'd be fucking sweet. We're just kind of like, you know, you've made it this far into the episode, and that's cool of you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And we are getting towards the end of the episode, so I'm going to take this time to pack my bowl again. And fucking we await Isaac as he does some googly research.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
My weed's over here, so I'll be back, buds.
All right, so he's running. Man,
I'm back, buds.
dude, you like the flash, dude? It was just like,
I
I guess
know,
like,
I'm never that far from weed.
oh, that's amazing. Well, yeah, it's just like we're never far from snacks. We're never far from beverages. We're never far from weed. We are always prepared. We say this all the time, all the time.
So yeah,
I cannot find anything.
there's nothing. Damn it. I was
Alright.
expecting like a Tommy Lee thing or some shit like that. Tommy Lee Jones.
Hi, I'm Ashton Kutcher with Dr. Lee's engine cooking bag. Have you ever ran over a dog?
What?
You never seen that? It was in Family Guy. It was a skit, and they were talking about
looks to be
a
really
commercial
good. It looks
that
like-
what do you call
Ronaldo,
that, Ashton Kutcher?
the famous Cristiano Ronaldo, the footballer, famous footballer,
Soccer player?
Yep, soccer in the North America.
I said football first.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But he actually is a celebrity who currently endorses KFC for Japan,
Nice.
because he's very popular in Japan.
I mean, he's popular everywhere.
100%.
But anyway, with all that being said, I have my bong packed right here.
And I have my bong packed right here.
Now, Isaac, you got some more of that Harry Palmer?
Palmy hair palm. Ding ding.
Yeah.
Damn straight. Well, with all that being said, let us, for the last time of the episode, blaze it and tok tok shkaboke.
Can't wait to sing a song about Santa committing vehicular manslaughter. That's for sure.
Wouldn't it be
Cancel
more
Grandma
vehicular
got ran-
Wouldn't it be vehicular grandslaughter?
Something
Cancel
like that.
Grandma got ran over by a reindeer.
Hell no, that's a great song. Let's write more songs about patricide and shit. Grandpa got run over by a steamroller.
Jesus fuck,
It was terrible. I didn't. Yeah, I don't know, fucking.
Everything you're singing. Just, no.
No.
With all that,
Everything,
buds.
no.
Blood
Yeah.
and guts everywhere on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
That's
that's
that one
true.
I can get more behind. It's not very specific.
Non-specific is that's the specificity that gets you.
Exactly. Keep it vague. Keep it vague for the holidays.
Keep it.
And with all that, Buds, hopefully you've enjoyed what we've been talking about. If you have your own weird Christmas traditions from around the world, like, comment, subscribe, let us know somewhere. We're on all the socials. And thank you so much. Hopefully the Yule Lads don't fuck with you. This has been a shit. We're gonna roll one for the road. We'll see you next week on the Good Buds podcast.
That's right, buds. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. We hope that whatever holidays you're celebrating, if any, this time of year are absolutely fun, safe, and fantastic. Yeah, like, we'll see you on the next episode. Talk about all the shit we got.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays, smoke some weed, and have a good night indeed.
Merry Chrysler.
Merry Chrysler.
I'm going to beat my poop log. I'll be right back.
I'm Kanye West.